And for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quick comment, please remember our service men and women are out there serving our country around the world for our protection. Thank you. The first item on the agenda would be to consider the minutes for October 16th. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I would move that we accept the minutes as presented.
I would second that.
We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The next item is to consider register of claims totaling $1,222,446.80.
Reviewed the claims, so I'd move approval.
I would second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Under old business, we're going to open bids for a sludge lagoon project, and Mr. Anderson, our district engineer, will cover that. And again, John, this is one of the things that's been going on for many years.
We bid this a couple months ago, but due to some questions on the accumulated rainwater that is currently in the lagoon, we decided to rebid and specify on bypass pumping the water out of the lagoon. So that's why we're back here and opening bids again. So.
Okay. So we have an agreement to end our relationship with the lagoon. It'll be all cleaned up, and now we're just down to a cost of pumping out the water to finalize that. Would that be correct?
Pumping out the water, and then the work will be regrading the area to fill in the lagoon with the berm that's around it.
Terrific.
And it should restore it back to
This has been,
ground.
like I said, a real problem to the district for a number of years, and we're finally getting it resolved. So good.
Okay. The first bid is from Schroyer Brothers. Bid amount of $40,000. The next bid is from Hoosier Pride Excavating. Bid amount $80,375. And the last bid is from Barber Contracting. Bid amount $34,800. And I ask that the board take the bids under advisement.
Yeah, we'll entertain a motion to take these bids under advisement and review of our attorney. And
So moved.
A second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Thank you, John. John, that water isn't contaminated, is that correct?
It's strictly rainwater from the past couple of years.
Okay, thank you. Well, the next item is to award quotes for the Whiteley Storm Sewer Project, and this will be concrete work on the Bradley and Wolf Street, and Scott Dumpke of GRW will present this.
Thanks, Bill. We offered quotes to do the concrete curb and sidewalk ramp work on Brady and Wolf Street here with the Whiteley Street Storm Sewer Project. J&W Construction was the low bidder, quoter. We recommend the award subject to Mark's review of the contract documents for $148,773.60.
I took a look at those this morning. They seem to be in order.
They were? Okay, very good.
And Scott, these are for ADA accessible ramps.
ADA accessible ramps, some driveway aprons, some concrete curb work, and there's a bit of pavement patching and cutting and removal in there too.
And this is in the Whiteley area.
It is in Whiteley.
I'm not sure there's too many of those out there right now, the ADA ramps.
No, there's not any of them.
That'll be an improvement.
I tell you, that project has really been accepted greatly by the neighborhood, and I would also say that Tracy Department this is for the sanitary district. We've actually taken on a project that normally would be given to a contractor in order to save money, and Tracy and his department and all concerned have really done a really good job out there.
But this is work they don't normally do.
Now, this is not the regular sewer work. This is actually putting new pipe in, which is something that the district in all its history, to my knowledge, hasn't done. So it will be at a considerable savings to the rate payers. So we're really, really happy to do this and get this done. So, and Scott, your company has been involved, so thank you. Do we have a motion to accept the bid?
I do have a question.
No, sure, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This work, this dollar value covers everything on that project, Scott, or
2 streets,
2 streets? All right.
Brady and Wolf.
And hopefully the work will be done, maybe,
Well, what it looks like today, and we'll talk about this at the meeting afterwards, is they'll get the first 2 streets, Brady and Wolf, the pipe is in, get these curb work done, paving should be done this year. They're gonna probably then move to Blaine Street and get the piping in yet this year, probably by Christmas, depending on weather and things. But then they'll probably have to come back out and next year and work on
so there'll be
Penn
2
Street.
more streets after.
2 more streets after
Yeah,
these.
I'd like to see a bid breakdown. We'll get that after the meeting. But this is
yeah.
curbing work, driveways between the sidewalk and the curb in some areas.
Yes.
Uh,
Curbs coming into the inlets and back to the inlets around the curb turnouts at each of the intersections.
New inlets.
Yes.
And then the ADA ramps.
And and where there are existing sidewalks, ADA ramps are going in.
Any other questions? So basically, again, this would be additional work to putting the sewer in, the actual pipe in the ground that our department can't do, correct?
Yes.
Is that pretty good?
Yes.
General, okay, very good. Okay, do we have a motion to accept the bid since our attorney has already reviewed it?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Scott.
By the way, was there multiple contractors interested?
We invited 3 contractors under the quote statute. Only one turned in a number, and it was $2,000 different from our engineer's estimate.
Okay. You're having a construction meeting after this, I assume, is what you
Yes.
said, so, okay. Okay, next order is a change order for CSO Project 2, and Scott, you're going to be up here for that one also.
Yes, this is a change order for Sater Electric for CSO2, and it is a deduct of $47,883.02.
What does the deduct mean?
It means that there was some difficulty with the sanitary sewer separation component of the project. It was pulled out of the job, and it will come back as a separate project probably next year, as soon as we get easements from CSX and Vectren.
Okay. So we've taken part of the job and set it aside from the original
Yes.
contract.
And then we added some pipe on the newly acquired land that the district bought at the end of Ribble Avenue.
Any
So there's
questions?
2 legs of pipe installed with this.
No, we've got to, for the sake of the contractor, we need to make a move on this, and
Yes.
his bonding is still being held out there. so.
They've been very accommodating to the district in this
This
regard.
project's a year old, isn't it, Scott?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, we're very fortunate. We have an engineer on the board who's very qualified, and we have a guy with a lot of construction knowledge, so we're very fortunate that they really understand all this, and I've got an overall understanding. So do I have a motion to pass the change order for CSO2?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next item is, thank you, Scott. Next is Resolution 2014-17, and this will be a resolution to transfer funds within the Muncie Sanitary District from one department to another. Debbie Irving, our financial manager, will present this morning.
Yes, I'm asking today for a resolution 2014-17 transfer of funds. $30,000 from 611-84-439-073, monthly services and charges, to be transferred to 611-84-422-022, fuels, oils, and chemicals. $100,000 to be transferred from 617-89-431-026, Whiteley Materials and Supplies, to be transferred to 611-85-421-022, Material and Supplies. This last transfer is transferring into sewer maintenance. They've already purchased the merchandise, the materials, and we're just reimbursing them. And I would
Very good.
ask if you would approve this resolution, please.
Any questions? Let me hear it.
No, I have none.
Okay, may I have a motion to transfer the money under 2014-17?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hey, reverting back to the project for the Whiteley, and I'm not sure whether I actually asked for a motion to award the contract to the lowest bidder. Did I actually ask for that? And if not, I would like to have a motion, separate motion to award the contract.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Thank you. Now we'll get down to appropriation of funds. It's on our agenda, statement here, Debbie, so you want to explain that to us?
Yes, I'm asking for additional appropriation of $600,000 to 611-83-413-025 health insurance. Also, $125,000 to 611-90-439-070 pilot. And I would ask just your verbal approval for additional appropriation.
And the only statement I make to this transfer is every year we do this. At the beginning, we have a budget and we spend less money in one area and more money in another area. Health insurance is up. So what basically this is just moving funds from one department to another to pay our bills. So I guess all it says is appropriation of funds, and should we give this some kind of title like department transfers or something?
I'm
Let's just
sorry.
call it
This is not a transfer.
Okay.
It is additional appropriation.
Okay, thank
So-
you for correcting me.
Yes, I just need a verbal in the minutes that you're allowing me to add these appropriations.
Okay.
So for 2015, could these be put as a budget line item where we would not have to transfer?
Yes, these are just additional funds that are needed this year
Okay,
for health insurance and for the pilot.
okay.
And all you need is something said in the minutes to
That's
cover this?
correct. That's
And this
correct.
is for the Board of Accounts accounting?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd just state that the board is, I heard you ask for additional appropriations to those two accounts and at those amounts, and you're welcome to do that.
So would that be your motion, Joe? I just want to make sure we have this
We
right.
really don't need a motion, do we?
I do need a
I will
motion.
make that a motion then.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'll second that. And obviously, we have the revenue to pay this, but we're just moving the money into the right places.
We're just appropriating
So you're going to
to be
spend
able
more
to
for health
spend.
insurance than you anticipated?
That's
Because, okay, because we're self-insured, we can't control that during the year. We don't know how much health insurance we're going to have over our limit, whatever that self-insured limit is. But, so that's basically what it is. I'm taking a lot of time on this, probably more than is needed. But we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Thank you very much.
With that, we end our agenda except for public comments. If there's any public comments, anybody would like to come forward and make a comment, they feel free to come up. I see no movement from the audience. We do have a movement, so would you please just state your name and your address, please?
My name is Sherry Smith, and I live at 1717 East Dudley Street here in Muncie. And this was just a question I have, and you can explain it to me. For the CSO 2 project on Ribble Avenue. What exactly is that?
I'm gonna refer that to our engineer, okay?
Okay,
CSO means combined sewer overflow.
okay,
So that means we have a pipe that we have the sewage from the houses, sanitary sewer, and the stormwater gets into that same pipe. And when it rains to a certain amount, it goes to the river and it overflows a weir and goes out into the White River.
I
So
understand.
we're under a state judicial agreement with IDEM to eliminate those in certain
Okay.
areas.
Okay.
And Scott may have more detail on if you have a specific place, or is there anything specific you have in mind?
No, I'm just really concerned about the cleanup of the river along through that area.
And
Because for years, you know, way back when they did the cleanup of Muncie and White River, like towards downtown got cleaned up, and that was really nice. But along from the East Jackson Street Bridge on, there was never and has never been any cleanup of that river. And it's pretty nasty. I mean, until there was gates put up. We had people dumping tires. They probably dumped, I would imagine, it's terrible to say, aluminum siding, you name it, it's in there. And when I was a youngster, first married, my husband and I and 3 other people, we walked out into the river ourselves and cleaned it out to the point that it was actually running blue. But then as we moved away, because we had children, nobody's ever come down there and cleaned the river. And it could be very, very beautiful.
it
Yeah.
absolutely could.
Yeah, if they would just come down and clean up that part of White River, it could be very beautiful. And you would have a lot of fish running because we did. We had bass, we had bluegill, I mean, just a number of things. And that's my concern really, is that the cleanup of the river, and I didn't know really who to come to.
No, I think you came to the right place. We're also doing some work at CSO 001, which is upstream there at Lewick.
Okay.
And maybe we could sit down with our engineers and our sewer maintenance folks and look at, while we're building things in there,
Right.
maybe do some cleanup in that stretch where our
Right, because-
CSOs are.
You know what used to be Burlington Trailer Court, which is now owned by, I believe it's Delaware County Mobile Home. They even dumped behind there. It is a literal mess. It is just nasty, considering everything that's been dumped in that river. You know,
Well-
and
Yeah, well, we're on a, and first of all, you came, you're right, Mike, she came to the right place. We are the Bureau of Water Quality, and John Craddock, and by the way, I think we have 32 species of fish in there now. So we've done it, there's been a great job done, and it's unconscionable that people would just take things and dump them in the river. I know we participate in the river cleanup once or twice a year. And I see some of our people nodding their heads. And it probably, you're probably right. That particular area may be out of sight, out of mind to some
It is.
people.
It
And
is.
we probably need to take a second look at
Yeah,
that and see
especially
what we
where
can
our
do.
pipes are, where we're doing work, we should certainly.
right, yeah.
Go a little-
I
go
have
beyond
noticed that. There has been work done through there that is appreciated. It's just really tough to, when you see that river that you knew once was so beautiful, to now, it is just a mess.
Well, thank you for
Ma'am,
your comments, and thanks for taking time.
I grew up in Akron, Ohio, and our river caught on fire for 11 straight days. The river burned for 11 straight days.
I'm not surprised.
Where I grew up.
They have that problem in West Virginia as well.
Well, thank you for your comments. There's no other buddy present who wants to make any comments. Then we will close the meeting at this point in time. Our next meeting will be at the same place on November 13th, same time. Thank you, everybody.